Hi guys, welcome to session 42 of Java Full Stack Made Easy. This is the Bootstrap part 2. So since the previous video was a little lengthier, so I thought of creating two videos for Bootstrap. Now going back to what we were discussing before. So this was the nav that we have created, and also we added some icons on the buttons. In the previous session, if you remember that I created a image and then gave it as circled, right? So we created a rounded and circled image, but we could not see that it is circled or rounded. The reason for that was even the previous image was rounded and circled, but we could not see it because our background is white, so that's why it's not completely visible. So in this case, if you see that I have actually added a image here. So two more images I have added into our images directory, and this one again is rounded circle. So the problem was actually what? The background color. So if I change the background color, now it looks good. Fine. So let's go to the body and try and give the background color and ensure that it looks proper. Fine. So now for the background color, again, what we can do is we can just give a class and then give what the background color bg hyphen any color that we want. Let's say the primary color or something. So let's just save it, and there we go. So you can see that the image is circled. Fine. So that way we can actually give the image, and also we can set the uh, already I guess I have set the height and width of this particular image. Not yet. So let's just give the width, maybe some 400 pixels. Fine. So anything that you want, you can give it here. Fine. So let me just copy this and put it into the repository as well. Fine. So I should be creating one more for this, right? And that is my day 42. So let's create a new one. Day 42, demo 1, images, bootstrap images. Fine. So in this case, we have also added what? We have added the BG color as well to the uh, background. So colors, we have already discussed the type of colors that we can use into Bootstrap. Like in the previous case also we have used it. Similarly, let's go ahead and create some simple tables which will again be frequently used for our uh, projects. So let me just clean up the buttons and everything, the nav bar also that I have created, so that the code is small and easy to understand. So let me just clean up everything that I have written, button and nav bar and everything, image as well, except the JavaScript link. All right. So there we go. Again, we are back to the template that we were using before. So now what I want to do is I want to use a table in Bootstrap. I want to create a table and ensure that the table looks good. Fine. So let's go ahead and create a Bootstrap table, a prettier table for Bootstrap. Fine. So let's go ahead and create a table like we used to create it before. So I have a table, and then we know that we used to create the table head, then the table row, and then the table body and the table row, table data and all that. So let's create that first, and after that I will be just applying the uh, table, Bootstrap table to it. Fine. So let's create a table head, and then also let's go ahead and create the th and give any of the headings that is of our choice. Let's say name, the jersey number, and the team. That's the example that we are taking, right? Team. And let's create the table bodies. Again, the table row and the table data. Fine. So Fine. So my concern is not about the data that I'm placing. So I'll just copy paste the same data that I have. Fine. So let's just save it. And what I want is I want a table to be displayed like a bootstrap way. Fine. So the table is displayed like this now. So let's go ahead and enhance this just by adding a class name to this. So the bootstrap table is what? Table space. Then the table, whatever table that we want to create, table hyphen bordered table I want to create. Save it, and there we go. So a bootstrap table is created. Likewise, we can create much more prettier bootstrap tables. Fine. So let me just copy this and put it into the repository for you. Demo to bootstrap table. Okay, so now what we can do is we can even enhance this particular table that we have created here. Like we have just created what? A simple bordered table we have created. We can create the, we can align the text center. We can even align this particular entire table in the middle. Fine. So let's go ahead and do that and understand how do we do it. So here I have just created a bootstrap table and I have applied a bordered uh, class to it. So let's also apply a text hyphen center to it, save it, and then we go ahead and we can see that the text is aligned center. Okay. And we can also align this table as well. Since the table has taken all the space, we can align this table in the middle as well. Let's see. Fine. So since it is extended to the entire stuff, so if we give the width of this, it can take that width and apply it at the center. Anyways, we can do that. Then what we will do is we can also apply classes here. Okay, that is something like what? Class table hyphen dark should work. So let's save it and understand. Yeah, the table head, you can see that it's given as table dark. So similarly, for the alternate text, if you remember, I created some tables with this. So instead of giving a BG color primary here, now that I have already placed an image, so I don't want a background color for this because the table would look better without the background color now. So I want to apply the background color to my TDs. Okay. So is that possible or not? So let's go ahead and just apply it to the table data. Fine. So let's go ahead and apply it here on this particular table data, which is gonna be class again. The background that I applied on the body was BG primary, right? So similarly, we can apply BG hyphen danger primary success and all that. So let's save it and see it. Fine. So that way you can apply it, or you can apply this class on the entire row like this. Sorry. Okay. It should actually work here. Anyways, so we can define it for all the TDs so that it is applied to the entire row. Save it, and there we go. So it can be danger, it can be anything that we want. It can be primary, it can be secondary, it can be success, it can be warning, it can be info. That way we can define it. Also, we can define the uh, color of the text that is being displayed here. So it can be text hyphen white. Let's save. Yeah, so there we go. Text hyphen green, not there. So let's try text primary so you can see that. text primary, secondary, success, again all that can be applied for text colors. So that way we can change, even format the tables of our choice. So there will be definitely well formed tables already available, so we can simply just get those tables and then put it into our code. Fine. So let me just copy everything that I have written for the table and then put it into the repository for you, so that it will be easier for us to again work with the tables when it comes to retrieving data from the database and putting it on the web page. So let's just call it as demo 3 bootstrap table enhanced. All right. So let me clean up this table that I have written, and again in the web pages that we will be creating, we will be focusing on what the input types. So let's now try and modify one of the input type, that is what our text box. You might have seen the text box is like a username containing a icon and then being displayed. So let's try and create such type of things with our bootstrap. So that will be div again, and this division class will be an input group. Okay, we have to obviously, like when we are using bootstrap, we have to remember this class names, but still I always believe that remembering the class name is easier than to create all of that. Fine. So I have an input group created, and let me create an input type text. So this is what we used to do before, right? So input type is equal to text. So let's create that. We are done with creating the input type text, and also we can put a placeholder. This we have already learned before, right? So that's gonna be what user name. Okay, or enter username or enter your name or anything. Fine. So now the extra thing that will be added with the bootstrap, first thing is that it has to be added within the input group. That's one thing. Second thing, let's create a icon for this. Let's first call this as a form control. Fine. So class, this is gonna be a form control. Okay, so we created it as a form control, and now let's just first see it, how it looks like. So we have created a form control. So now what I want is I want this to be containing an icon within it. Okay, so once again go for the span inline stuff, right? So if you remember, we have already discussed about the span and the div inline and the block. So class is gonna be input group hyphen text. Okay, and then I can give any icon of my choice to this. So that's gonna be an I class for this icon, like we used to do it with the buttons and everything that we have done before. Bi space bi hyphen. So for a user it is going to be person. So let's just save it and see the icon being displayed with the user name. We can even define the width of this, and this text box will appear as like whichever size that you take. They can define the size for the div and handle it that way. Fine. So as for now I have not defined it, so it is covering up the entire page. So I'll copy this and just put it as an input, bootstrap input demo 5. All right, so next thing that I will be creating is again something that will be mostly used in our web applications when we come into the uh, when we try and get the live data from the user. So let me just clean up this thing first and talk about the bootstrap cards. Okay, so let's see how can we create a bootstrap card. This is going to be a simple card with one image being displayed on the card. So let's see how do we create that. Okay, so once again for that we would need a div. Okay, and this div that I'm creating, let's call that div as class is equal to the card itself. Fine. So we can also define the style and the width and everything for this. Fine. So as for now, I'm not defining it. Then let's also add an image to this. So the image source is going to be any image of our choice. So I have added images slash some Java logo or anything that we like. So I've added an image into the images directory. So I'm adding that image there. And after that, what is required? So let's just first close this. What is required for this? So a class card image has to be given here. Okay, so card hyphen img. I want to display this image at the top, so let's call it as card image top. Fine. So after that, an image is set. Now let's create another div here and create the content for the div. So this is going to be a class, and this is the body of the card, so it is going to be card hyphen body. Save it. And then I want to give a title to this, and then I want to give some text into this particular card. Fine. So for giving the title, once again we can make use of what, let's say h2 for the title, h2 h3 h4 anything. So I want to create a h2 and then class. Again, this is the title for the card, so it is going to be a card hyphen title. Okay, so I have created a card title, and let's call this as what, Java. Okay, let's save it. And then I want to write the text for the card, so let's just write the text for the same. And this is not going to be my h2, it is going to be just a simple paragraph. So class is going to be card hyphen, this is what the content, the text to be displayed, so I'm just going to write it as text. And Java is an interesting language. Fine. So we can keep writing the text there. Fine. And let's save it. And usually in a card we can also have a button being displayed here. So I'm just going to create a hyperlink, or we can create a button primary and all that. Fine. So maybe save or something, or yeah, click, save, anything. And you can give the link where you want to go, and that is going to be a button space, sorry, button hyphen primary or something. So let's save it and see how our card looks like. So an image is being displayed. So let's now give some, this is a card image obviously. So for that I will give the width. So let's give the width to this itself. Width equals to, let's see whether this works or not. Yeah. So in this case, I have to define what, style width. Fine. So maybe some 30 pixels or something. Too less. Yeah. So now the card is in placed in 300 pixels, and you can see that image is displayed, the card title is displayed, the card text is displayed, and also a button is being displayed. So that way we can create the bootstrap cards, which will definitely be helpful for us if we are retrieving some data from the database and we want to display it like the cards. Fine. One after another we want to display the card, and then uh, we want to see the buttons and the text to be displayed with that. So that way we can create the bootstrap cards as well. Fine. So let me just copy this and put it into the repository as well, and call it as bootstrap cards. So as usual, I always tell you that you go ahead and learn this bootstrap, CSS, HTML, and JavaScript into W3 schools. There you will find out simple demos. So let me save it. So this was kind of created for a dark mode switch. They can create websites like this, have a switch and create a dark mode and create elements that way. Fine. So you can go ahead, and what you can simply do is you can go to W3 schools, and then from there you can go for bootstrap and everything. Okay. So W3 schools, you'll find Bootstrap, and the Bootstrap 5 is what we were discussing. So you can click on that, and you can go for the other things that are available into Bootstrap. You can create anything, the progress bar, spinners, pagination, list groups, drop downs, anything of your choice. Fine. So you can simply, as discussed before, you can go ahead and look for more tables into Bootstrap, right? And try it on your own. You can see that. Fine. So that way, you can have the Bootstrap tables being created. So you can see that table, dark table, strip. Fine. So only the class names needs to be remembered. Variable dark table. Fine. So you can see that whichever row I am on, it gets highlighted. So that way you can create anything of your choice from here. So you can go for all the Bootstrap components and understand those things. Fine. So since our entire series is not based on Bootstrap, so I have discussed only those frequently used things into Bootstrap. Fine. So I hope that the sessions were useful for you to understand Bootstrap, appreciate the use of Bootstrap, because we cannot keep writing the CSS for everything. We are using ready-made CSS from Bootstrap, and usually the web developers do use these readily available CSS. Most of the websites are created on Bootstrap itself. So in our next session, we will now shift our focus to JavaScript after this. After that, we will be focusing on the concept of Angular. So again, if we look at the technology architecture, uh, we are done with the concept of Bootstrap as well. So four technologies we have already discussed when it comes to Java full stack. So we will be discussing about JavaScript, Angular, Spring, and then these two. So few more technologies are left. Once again, the things that we will be discussing again in JavaScript, I will restrict it to very few things, because our major focus will be on Angular, that will be connected to Spring, and then that might connect to SQL, or it will connect to Mongo database, or it can connect to both at the same time. Fine. So I hope you are enjoying the series, and if you enjoy the series, do share the series with your friends. Help me get more subscribers, and also try to market my channel, as I'm not on Instagram or Facebook or any social media except the LinkedIn. So uh, if you have Instagram and other social media platforms, you can share this link of the videos with your friends, and obviously it does not require money for you to share these links, right? So it's quite a free series, and I will believe that whatever if you share this, and if I get more subscriber, I get more reaches, so that itself could be uh, what you say, a payback for the videos that I'm creating. So see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Thank you.